All right, hello. We are on, can you guys believe it? Day 15 of the Internal Peace Revolution journey. We are halfway there. You guys have done such an amazing job. And I just want to really honor all of you. Wow, whether you're doing yoga for the very first time and this is your first experience with it, or you're more seasoned and you're just looking for something to be able to do on a more consistent basis and you just needed a little extra kick in your step, I'm so honored, happy, and excited that I get to lead your course and I get to be on this journey with you. So I have so much more in store for you. This is literally just the beginning, and there is so much for us to do together. And I'm excited that you're here. So let's go ahead and let's get started for today. I thought what we would do today is talk about flexibility, because one of the major myths that I get often about yoga and meditation is that, specifically with yoga, people feel that they have to be flexible. And the truth is, as much as, yes, yoga is about flexibility, it's also about trust. And what I mean by that is it's about trusting your body, it's about trusting your intuitive nature and knowing what's good for your body and what isn't. You see, all body types are different, right? We have tall, we have shorter, we have larger, we have thinner, right? And so what's key about yoga and knowing your body type is that you know not just your body type, but also your awareness, your inside, what feels natural and what doesn't. And so when I talk about moving towards your edge, what I mean by that is really pushing yourself to a limit that maybe you didn't get to before, right? Like athletes. For example, an athlete wouldn't probably do as well in a course, or not a course, but in the Olympics if they didn't have a coach, right? And the truth is most of us are that way. We would do fine if we had to do it on our own, but we could do so much better than fine if we actually have somebody kind of clicking at our heels and doing the work with us and helping remind us of what our goals are and what our vision is. And so what I want to do right now is I want to take a moment and actually have you tap into that part of you that decided to take this course. And I want to speak to that part of you, and I want to ask that part of you why you decided to do this. Was it because you wanted more flexibility? Was it because you wanted to practice breathing better? Was it because somebody said you need to do more yoga like the doctor and you didn't really have a choice or feel like you had a choice? Or was it that you just wanted to expand your knowledge and learn a few things that maybe you didn't know before? Whatever the reason, it's perfect and it's all valid. And I want you to know that you can always and forever shift your intention. So if today your intention and your goal, a goal and an intention is really similar. So if your intention or goal for today is to be flexible and tomorrow it's to practice balance, that's awesome. So again, I'm really proud of you, glad that you're here, and I'm excited to be on this journey with you. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start actually on our backs today. We haven't done this before, but we're going to start on our backs and we're going to lay down. So if you have a blanket, go ahead and grab that, and or a bolster, and then you're just going to slowly and mindfully lean back. Beautiful. When you get to the ground, what I want you to do is go ahead and lift your right leg up. Let your left foot come down to the ground, pressing your heel into the base of the floor. Press your belly towards your spine, allowing your low back and the curvature to flatten a little bit. And then I want you to take your hands, your right hand, take it back behind your knee or your upper thigh, and then go ahead and rotate your ankle. Beautiful. And then when you're done that a few times, go ahead and go the other direction. About 3 or 4 circles in each direction. And just notice here, when was the last time you gave your ankle a little love? Breathe. Beautiful. And then go ahead and bring your knee in. Hold your knee with your hands up over your knee. And I want you to just take a moment here and just feel your body. Notice the sensations. Notice any areas of ease.
Now notice any areas of discomfort without any judgment, just noticing. It's not good, not bad. It just is. Beautiful. Take your leg up towards the sky. Go ahead and drop your right leg down over your left. We're going to do a modified pigeon. So the right foot is resting on top of the left thigh. You're going to bring your left leg up. And then just rotate the ankle a few times, like we did the other side. Beautiful. And then bring it in. Draw that left foot in and leg. And what you might notice is a little bit of a stretch in the upper left thigh as well as the right back thigh. You might notice in your low back. You might notice this in your rear. And wherever you feel the sensations, just breathing your way through this. So because our theme today is flexibility, I want to focus on this a little bit. Release. Go ahead and switch legs. Bring your right foot down to the ground. Bend your left knee. And put your hands underneath your left knee on your upper thigh. Beautiful. Go ahead and rotate your ankle. Awesome. And then rotate the other way. Beautiful. When you're ready, bring your right leg up. Cross the left over the right. So your left foot and ankle is crossing over the right leg. Then you're going to grab your right hand underneath your right leg and draw it in towards your chest. And breathe. Beautiful. Now there's a couple things we could do here. You're going to release the leg. I'm going to invite those of you that feel comfortable to do this. You're going to take your hands, wrap them around your feet, and then draw your feet in closer to your body. So if you can't do this or this doesn't feel right, this is one of those edge positions, meaning I'm pushing you to your edge. So it's up to you to determine if this is a good fit for you or not. You might stay right here at the top. You might say, Regina, I want to do this, but I'm not ready to go all the way down towards the floor. That's perfect. Just bring your heels and your soles of your feet together, and wherever you feel comfortable, just bring your hands up over your feet and then hold. Breathing in through your nose, exhaling out your mouth. Breathing in, exhaling out. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Beautiful. And then slowly lift the legs up. Go ahead and point the toes and flex. Point and flex. Point and flex. Point, flex. Beautiful. All right, now what I'd like you to do is slowly draw yourself up to seated. Beautiful. And then we're going to bring our right leg out. Now this pose we've done this many times, but when you do this, you might not even think you're working on flexibility. And this is how awesome yoga is sometimes you're doing things you don't even realize that you're doing, and you're doing yoga. Right? You ever notice you're driving and then you're like, oh, how did I get here? Right? So yoga is like that, and really anything in life is, but specifically yoga I want to emphasize because it's not hard. It's just a matter of getting into the practice. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to bring left foot in, right leg out, release any extra flesh from the sits bones, from the tushy. And then if you're able to, go ahead and bring your right hand right fingertips around the right big toe. So what I'm doing, I'm taking my two front fingers, my index and my middle finger, wrapping my big toe, and then I'm going to bring my right knee and my right elbow close together. So I'm drawing my right elbow down towards my knee, and I feel this deep stretch in my side. Beautiful. Raising left arm up. I feel it in my low back. I feel it in my side body. Depending on where I move my arm, I might feel that stretch even deeper. So if you feel something today that needs a little tweaking, this is a very simple thing you can do on your own without any support from anyone, and it can help you shift. Sometimes I even take my left hand back behind me, opening my shoulder, looking up, and getting a nice deep stretch in my shoulders. Beautiful. And rising up. Bring your arms up overhead. Close your eyes. Bring your hands to your heart. Breathe. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. Remembering what brought you on your mat today. Take your left foot out. Right leg comes in. And then this time you might feel a nice sensation inside in the lower thigh area. You're going to take your left fingers, your right finger, your index finger and your middle finger, and you're going to wrap it around your big toe. And then take your right arm up overhead. Feeling that stretch in your side body. We call that side body long. Engaging Mula Bandha, that's that three-part section we spoke about the other day. That's the first. Actually, I think that's the middle section. That is basically when I say belly to spine, we're working in that Mula Bandha area. Beautiful. And then you can counter pose if you want. Perfect. And then go ahead and bring left foot in. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to do a little spinal twist, just working out any additional kinks. Bringing your arms up overhead. Lower your shoulders, nice and soft. Getting your shoulders out of your ears. Beautiful. Rise up through the fingertips. Take your right hand, bring it back behind you, just about 1 to 3 inches behind you. Then go ahead, take your left hand, and you're not going to bring it all the way, but you're going to bring your left elbow towards the left side, so towards the left knee. Obviously, it's not going to go all the way, but you just want to imagine doing a spinal twist, and it's going to take you all the way back. And breathe. Beautiful. Coming back to center. Switch sides. Take your left hand behind you about 1 to 3 inches. Take your right hand to left knee. Lift up through the chest and twist. Beautiful. Back to center. And breathe. Awesome. Nice job. All right, so you might notice a couple things opening up. You might notice your hips are a little more open. You might notice your chest is more open, your shoulders, opening that shoulder girdle. It's always hard to say that. You can say that 10 times fast. So just being mindful. And then what I want to do is I want to go ahead and actually work the hips a little bit. And then we're going to come into bridge pose. So the hips I want to focus on today because they are, a lot of times they're involved in flexibility and in the poses that support and nurture flexibility. And truthfully, our hips are all about movement, right? Because our hips are connected with our legs and they are part of our mobility team, as I call it. So we want to make sure that we're lubricating the hips, that we're being generous to them, we're being loving. And if you have ever noticed, hips are one of the areas that oftentimes as people grow into their wisdom years, as I call it, as they age, their hips tend to need repair, whether it's a hip replacement or they break a hip, or the hips are a very delicate area, and they're actually what we call the junk drawers of the body. And what I mean by that is because the hips are the way they are, what they do, they support, right, our upper body and our lower body, and they connect. It's like a Grand Central Station. So the hips are a very delicate part of our body, and they're also very critical and very important. And so especially as women, that's where life lives, right, is in the hip area, the pelvis, and that whole section there. So that's, chakra 2 to 3, right? That's a very important area for us. That's where creativity lives. That's where passion lives, sexuality, all of that. So even for men, it's very important for them to protect their hips, just like women. And so it's really important to strengthen our hips. So we're going to do a couple exercises here, really, really simple. We're going to lean back onto the mat once more. And then what I want you to do is really simply, you're just going to lift one hip up at a time. So left hip, it's going to point towards the sky. Then right hip points towards the sky. Then left. Then right. Then left. Then right. It's kind of like a dance. You can even snap your fingers. And you can do this every day. You can do this while you're watching TV. Or you're watching a movie. It's super easy. And you're just basically loving on the hips. You're giving them some attention, lubricating them, and you're just giving them a chance to exercise in a sense, but also you're giving space for your hips to breathe and to have a little bit of a different motion. Or I'd say not different, more like intentional motion. Because when we're walking, this is what we're doing. But we're not always thinking it. Go ahead and relax. Breathe. Beautiful. Now we're going to do something called, and so that is what I call is hip rockers. And then, hip climbers. That's hip climbers. We're going to do another one called hip rockers, which is similar, but this time you're going to go side to side. So you're going to go right, and your knees are going to swing a little bit. Left. Right. Left. Right. Left. And you're just going to do a handful of these. Doesn't matter how many. Just the key for today is just to do it. Keep breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. Beautiful. One more on each side. You guys got it. All right. So you might notice your hips are a little, you might notice some sensations, a little warm. That's just letting us know that your hips are nice and lubricated and that you've worked them out a little bit, which is awesome. You want that sensation. And what it also does is it strengthens them, makes them tougher, and the bones, the calcium in the bones is intensifying. So it gives it a little bit more strength and more durability. So next what we're going to do is we're going to actually lift up. So if you have a block, I'd like you to go ahead and take that block, place it underneath of you. And here you have a choice. You can have the block flat, or you can have it on height, which I call level 2 and level 3. So I'm going to invite everyone to do at least level 1 or 2. Level 3, unless you're really, really flexible, let's hang tight with that one. So just stick with 1 and 2. And then what I want you to do, you're going to notice your knees are going to kind of want to separate. So go ahead and draw the knees together, inviting the knees to come together. If your knees are really loose and you see yourself really like loosening out, go ahead and grab a band and place it around your knees. And that's going to help you to keep your knees together. So here, we're just going to hold it here, lifting up. And without really lifting, I just want you to place awareness and mindful attention on your hips as you lift up through the hips. Lift up slightly off the block. And breathe. Beautiful. Gently release. Alright, so that is a soft bridge, as I call it. And then what we're going to do, for those that want to join me, again, only if this is available for you and this is safe, I want you to go ahead and do this with me. You can go ahead and you can release the block from underneath of you, and you're going to place your hands underneath of your low back. So just touching your butt. Lifting up through the hips, nice and strong. Knees pressing towards each other. Beautiful. And then release. Alright, so that's supported bridge. And for those of you that want to join me for advanced, you're going to go ahead and you're going to come to wheel, which is literally you're going to peel up off the ground by taking your hands to the outside of your ears. Your elbows are bent, and then you're going to lift up. So notice I'm going to firmly root my feet into the earth. I'm going to lift up through my head first, and then I'm going to lift up my hips. My knees are closer together, and I'm lifting up. My hips are reaching towards the sky like beams of light. And then I just hold here. I can come to my toes if I want. I can do one leg, which usually I do, but I'm not feeling that today. So I'm going to honor myself, and I'm going to do what I can. And that, my friends, is a little bit about flexibility. So thank you so much for joining me today. May the divine light in me honor and salute the divine light in each of you. And I wish you all a beautiful, blissful, and wonderful day. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.